Good morning, video games. Today is Friday, February 5th, 2021. My name is Brendan Bigley. Welcome back to the last episode of the week. I wasn't here yesterday. I woke up too late to make an episode. I guess every once in a while it's going to happen. When a car alarm goes off at 2:30 in the morning and then you can't sleep for another 2 hours. I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if it was a car alarm. It didn't sound like a car alarm. It sounded like something much more nefarious than your standard car alarm. Ain't no Honda Civic making that noise. Anyway, I have a bunch of industry stories today, so let's talk about the industry of video games, huh? So either in the last episode or a couple episodes ago, I talked a little bit about a Bloomberg report, just kind of detailing the inside workings of Amazon Game Studios and the fact that it was a mess. This guy, Mike Frazzini, who is the head of Amazon Game Studios, essentially was receiving a ton of complaints that hey, you've never made a video game before, and you're coming into these meetings and demanding a lot of things that just aren't possible. It's the equivalent of, from what I go read that piece. I'll link to that episode so you can go find that piece. But if you haven't read that piece, go read that piece, because my takeaway from it was that it's very much the video games equivalent of a company hiring a social media consultant and then saying, how do we go viral? Which that's not how the internet works. And I think a lot of the questions or concepts that I read from Mike Frazzini being brought up in Amazon Game Studios are I don't even work in the industry and I know that's not how video games work. It's not how you make a video game. So that was a wild thing, and it seems like Amazon has responded. And when I say Amazon, I mean Amazon's new CEO, Andy Jassy. Just the other day, noted walking eldritch nightmare Jeff Bezos, just a true horror of a human being, decided to step down from his role so he can focus on his rocket ships or something. I don't know. I read an article recently that said Jeff Bezos would only make 3 decisions a day. How fucking privileged and shitty do you have to be? That's the first time I've ever cursed on this show. I think it's warranted for Jeff Bezos. Anyway, Andy Jassy is the new CEO. He spoke out about that Bloomberg article and says that they're still committed to making video games. Quote, some businesses take off in the first year and others take many years. Though we haven't consistently succeeded yet in Amazon Game Studios, I believe we will if we hang in there. Look, if we hang in there is exactly how Amazon does business. Amazon has unlimited money. This is really not dissimilar to what I was saying with Google, who has decided to give up despite all of their money. Amazon realizes that they have infinite money, and they could just hang out until they succeed at something. It's happened time and time again. It happened with the Echo devices and the idea of Alexa in general, which came out and people were like, I'm not going to put a weird speaker in my house that can listen to me at all times. And guess what everybody does now? Me included. I have 4 Google Homes and an Amazon Echo in my house. I don't know what's going on up here, but I sure did get all of those devices. They did the same thing with Amazon Fire TV as well. Amazon Prime Video as an idea, as a competitor to Netflix, went from being a goof to oh, this is legit. I don't even think people remember that it's a goof anymore, is how much of a not goof Amazon Prime Video is now. And they haven't even released their Lord of the Rings TV show yet, which they say is going to be filled with nudity to compete with HBO, which is the kind of high-level thinking that you can get when you only make 3 decisions a day. May 4th, 2018, Jeff Bezos' 3 decisions of the day. 1, what am I going to eat for breakfast? 2, what am I going to eat for lunch? 3, will the hobbits fuck in the Lord of the Rings TV show for Amazon Prime Video? The answer to all 3 is eggs, and yes. Anyway, the whole reason I wanted to bring this up is just that this is a thing that Amazon does all the time. They enter a bunch of industries and they fail for a really long time, but I think Amazon is the worst case scenario nightmare version of a company with this much money who understands that they have this much money and can throw it around as much as they want and will learn from their failures and become better in the long run at the thing that they're trying to do and then eventually succeed. There's literally no stopping Amazon. Eventually, we'll all forget these Bloomberg articles about Amazon Game Studios when they have, like, some hit Call of Duty clone, or have just straight up purchased a studio because they thought it was too hard to make something internally. What if Amazon just bought Activision? Hey, let's move on to Activision. The man himself, Jeff Keighley, tweeted this. Anyway, he tweeted this about the earnings call from Activision Blizzard yesterday, saying that they're not launching Overwatch 2 or Diablo IV this year. Here's the thing. Now that Kingdom Hearts 3 is out and Final Fantasy VII Remake is out, we as like a community of people who play video games and get excited about video games need something to just not exist. We need something to just ambiently float around in the background, like, and for now that's Overwatch 2. I mean, Overwatch 2 is as much vaporware as anything else I've looked forward to in my life. For me, the idea of Overwatch 2 is really just like boiled down to I would love to feel something about Overwatch again. The experience of Overwatch 1 coming out and everyone I know completely losing it over that game was great. I loved the first like year of Overwatch. I got into every event. I want Overwatch 2 to exist, and I want it to be good. I know there's a ton of people who still play Overwatch, and they really like it. I want to be very clear. This is not a dunk on people still playing Overwatch 1. I wish I was still playing Overwatch 1. But that said, when did Overwatch 2 get announced? I don't even know. Years ago, I feel like, at this point. I think people just really got invested in the characters. In those, like, cinematic trailers and like, short films, almost, that they did for all of the characters. And I think people just want more content of, like, those people hanging out, which I want also. They did an amazing job. That stuff was amazing. Do you remember the first trailer for Overwatch? Oh my god. That was like a Pixar movie. You could have told me that was like The Incredibles 3, and I would have been like, yeah, man, it is The Incredibles 3. Diablo 4, I got nothing for him. I'm so sorry. I didn't like Diablo 3 very much. I'll play the Diablo 2 remake when that comes out. Shout out to Vicarious Visions, which I guess doesn't exist anymore. But they're making the Diablo 2 remake, apparently. But I'll play that. I'm really curious about Diablo 2. I would love to be curious about Diablo 4, but I just could not get into Diablo 3. The only one of these kinds of games that I've gotten like really, really into was Torchlight 2. I tried playing Torchlight 3 the other day with some friends, and boy, did I turn that game off. Anyway, this game's not coming out in 2021 anyway, so whatever. Let's move on to this thing. Sony takes a 1.9% stake in FromSoftware's parent company. Before you jump headfirst into your computer screen or mobile phone display, let's just get right to it. This doesn't officially mean there's going to be like a FromSoft first-party exclusive for the PlayStation 5, but it does make it slightly more likely. Here's a quote. The deal would facilitate the creation, development, and acquisition of new IP, in addition to allowing it to, quote, maximize the value of the abundant IP that we already own. So this part to me is actually the part that I find really interesting, because this, if you're thinking of IP that we already own, we being Sony, in the context of FromSoft, the answer is only Bloodborne. I've seen some like rumors here and there about a Bloodborne remake in the vein of a Demon's Souls remake on the horizon in some regard. So I'm wondering if this is like our only real hint at that officially until it gets announced. But this doesn't really mean a whole lot. I just saw this get a lot of pickup yesterday, and a lot of people immediately like, oh my god, Bloodborne 2 is happening, it's confirmed. Like that's not really what this means. This kind of thing happens all the time, but I do think that this bit right here is interesting. So I just wanted to highlight that. I got nothing else for today's episode. That said, this does mark 1 month of Good Morning Video Games. I've missed 1 day so far, which isn't that bad, I guess. I was hoping to miss 0 days, but you know, things happen. Alarms go off. But that said, if you're liking the show, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't. Hit the notification bell to get notified when new episodes go live. Leave a like on this video because it helps with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment. Same reason as the above. But more importantly than that, I don't know, tell somebody about it. I've seen a lot of people mention that this has become like part of their morning routine, is like making coffee or tea or whatever and like sitting down and watching this in the morning when they wake up, which I'm really amped about. That's really cool. That's like exactly what I envisioned for this. So, for those of you doing that, I hope you're enjoying your breakfast, even if it's just liquid, like mine is. I have switched to tea pretty much full time at this point. I'm not really sure why, but I've kind of backed off coffee a bit, which, for those of you who know me in real life and are watching this, that will come as a shock. That is probably very surprising. But I've become a morning tea guy. It's a fun vibe. Well, all of that said, that's going to be it for me. You can follow me on the internet at Brendan Bigley if you'd like to. And you know, even if you don't go do that, I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. And I'll see you on Monday, right? Yeah, I'll see you on Monday. There is a Monday in February where I will not be able to make an episode, but I'm still going to try to make an episode, and we'll see how that goes. It's going to be the 15th. Monday, February 15th. I either won't be here or I'll be here with a really strange video. So I guess stay tuned for that. All right. I'm actually going to go now. Goodbye.